My name is Dr. Deshmukh. I am an NIHR trainee in diabetes in endocrinology, and I am based in Newcastle, and I'm working currently at Middlesbrough. So I'm working within the genetics of statin response consortium. What we are looking at is genetics of CRP change following statin therapy. We know from clinical trials that people who take statins have reduced cardiovascular mortality, and around 7 million people in UK take statins because of that. We also know that people who have reduction in both the C-reactive protein, which is an inflammatory marker, and low-density lipoprotein have a tremendous benefit with statins. We understand some of the mechanisms by which statins reduced LDL-C, but we do not understand how it reduces CRP. So the purpose of or the nature of this work is to identify how statins reduces CRP. So we have accumulated data from about 5 clinical trials. These are the major clinical trials across the world, and the Framingham Heart study. On the individuals from these studies, we have the genotype data, or we have the genetic data for all of them, and we are looking at particular genetic markers or signatures which will tell us how CRP is reduced when we give statins to them. So once you give statins to someone, we've noticed that there is a fall in their CRP level. About 50% of the individuals do not have any fall in CRP level. So we know that there is some genetic determinant to this fall in CRP level. So we are defining, or we are trying to investigate the genetic determinants of this CRP response. So in all of these studies, or in all of these trials, we have a CRP level measured at the beginning of the study and then at the end of it. And then we define a change in the CRP as absolute reduction in the CRP level. And we are identifying SNPs, or single nucleotide polymorphism, which are associated with this change in the CRP level. So our DNA has 30 million single nucleotide polymorphisms. We have about a panel of 9 million SNPs available with us, and we try to identify the association of each SNP with this change in CRP following statin therapy. So we are looking at 9 million mutations, and it is very likely that we will get some false positive results from this. So because of this, we have a threshold of declaring something significant, which is very high as compared to our usual studies. So usually we would call something significant if the p-value is less than 0.05. But for something to be significant, when we are doing so many tests, in fact 9 million tests, the p-value has to be extremely significant. So the p-value has to be 10 raised to power minus 8 or less than that. So only if we achieve that level of significance, we say that this particular SNP or this particular gene is associated with this phenotype. So we have some initial evidence about some of the markers in the CRP gene itself and several other genes which are associated with this response. Now what we are looking for is additional replications of these in the studies which have already been genotyped. So once we have a confirmatory evidence of this replication, we will have definite evidence that there are certain markers in our genomes which predict how statins reduce CRP levels. This is one of the biggest pharmacokinetic study looking at the genetics of CRP change following statin therapy. So we have about 10,000 individuals, but the nature of these studies is such that the more sample size you have, the better power you have to detect a change. So as a result of this, we have finished with the first round of discovery. Now we are waiting for additional data from a Goddard cohort called as Goddard's cohort. It is a collection of 8,000 patients with type 2 diabetes in Scotland. And we also are awaiting data from the Ascot clinical trial, which is a collection of around 2,000 individuals who had statin therapy. So once we have results from that, we'll combine them with these results, and then I think we'll have some definitive evidence of whether these genes or SNPs are associated with CRP change following statin therapy. I think most of the pharmacogenetic research is going towards personalized medicine. So in 10 years from now, I envisage that once you go to the hospital, you'll get a test, and based on that test, we will be able to know what medications you would respond or not respond. At the moment, we use a blanket approach, so everyone who has a heart disease gets a statin, but that might change after some time. We will be able to identify some individuals who are more likely to respond to statins or not likely to respond to statins, or likely to have high adverse effect following statins. So I think these studies are some building blocks towards the final aim of personalized medicine.